Hello and welcome to GNO, that's Gaia Night Online, and this is where we come together as a community to pull cards for the week ahead. So you're welcome to join me if you'd like to pull cards. All you need to do is click the link provided. It's on the Gaia Blooming Facebook page, so if you'd like to join me and pull cards with me, come and do that, or afterwards you're welcome to come join and have cards pulled for you after the show, after we go off air. And we have kind of a quiet, mellowish week for the most part, but we are in the eclipse corridor, basically. So we had last week on Friday our solar eclipse, and the next moon, the full moon, will actually be a lunar eclipse. And so the eclipse corridor can be a time where stuff is shifting, and you know, it can have some intensity, even though the astro itself is kind of easy breezy at the moment. That may be stirring stuff up. And we'll dive into the first card, which is funny because it wasn't the card that I would be anticipating for this, but it does make sense, especially being in the eclipse corridor. So we're starting with the moon shifting into Gemini, and that is tomorrow morning, Tuesday the 24th. And the first card I pulled was Clinging to the Past. And so this card, I mean, it's just that. It's clinging to the past. And when I pulled it, I was like, oh, that's interesting, because Gemini does have this fun, I want to know things kind of energy. But, Gemini also rules the mind. And the moon is our feelings. And so our mind and feelings may be stirring up some of the old stuff, some of the old cringe moments, some of the, oh, I wish they had, or I wish I would have, or the should haves and could haves. And so, anything that's coming up about that, it's an opportunity to release it. And one of my favorite ways of releasing is just by sitting with it. So I pulled the aloneness card, which is so funny for Gemini, because Gemini loves to be out there making connections, talking to people, finding out what's what. But make some time to spend some time with any of that stuff that's coming up, the clinging to the past stuff. And my other deck that I'm pulling from today is Angel Therapy. And it's funny because I think this goes really well with the first card, Cancel, Clear, Delete. It says, use only positive words and thoughts as they're rapidly manifesting into form. Ask the angels to cancel the effects of past negative thinking. And so, I really take this as, maybe like one of those cutting cords, releasing the past kind of cards. If there's something, those should haves, would haves, could haves coming up for you, it's time to cancel, clear, delete. And it's funny. Oh, I wish I had the deck with me. I pulled a Mother Mary card right before I started the show, and the card was tune into your angels, listen to your angels. Your angels are always there to help, which is funny because I must be why I, not thinking, chose the Angel Therapy card. But if you want some help with this process, call on your angels. Cancel, clear, delete. So that is for the moon in Gemini. And then on Thursday afternoon, the moon is shifting into Cancer. The Cancer moon's always a time to go, retreat kind of into yourself. You don't want to totally retreat, but spend some time with yourself, spend some time with your feelings. The moon is in her home realm when she's in Cancer. And it's a very good time for feelings, feeling at home, rearranging your home. Since the sun is in Aries, that can always make you want to take some action. So maybe take a little action in rearranging your home. But the card I pulled from Osho is receptivity. So it's another water card. The first card, the Clinging to the Past card, was a water card, and this is a water card too. And I love that energy for water, to remember, to be receiving. And you know what I like, what this actually is making me think of, is the Rumi poem, The Guest House. I always go back to Rumi. And basically, in The Guest House, Rumi is saying every feeling, every emotion, everything that comes up in you is something that is helping you on your path. So welcome it in and invite it. Whether it's a displeasure or something good, receive it as it's there to help shift you. And so I think this is what the receptivity card is saying. Receive these things. They're all there helping you. helping you change, helping you shift. And the moon in Cancer is a really powerful time to like dive into those feelings and see what's going on. So from Angel Therapy, I pulled Base Chakra. What they say on the card is choose only positive thoughts to describe your home, career, and finances as your words determine your outcome. But I love that advice. I think it's really good. But it's interesting because base chakra is our survival, and it can be our security. So again, like the last card, how I suggested calling your angels, if you're feeling not secure wherever you are, if you do not feel at home on this planet, in your home, around your friends, out of your house or anything, it's time to do some work on your root chakra, your base chakra. And again, call on the angels. If you need some help with that, they're available to help you. So just tune in and see what's going on. And sometimes even just envisioning, okay, I see my root chakra, I see it, it's red, it's kind of rosy around the edges, but then there's this little dark spot in the center. Don't be afraid to dive into the dark spot and see what it's about, see what's going on. You are an amazing healer for yourself. And this week, has some good healing energy with it. So don't be afraid to dive in. So along these lines, let's see, the moon will shift late on Saturday evening into Leo. Woo! And I love the card that I pulled for Leo. I pulled creativity, which that one's so obvious. There's not a whole lot to say about it beyond the fact that Leo, moon in Leo, enlightens our creativity. Leo is the sign of creativity, the inner child, the heart chakra, all of that energy. And so Osho is just reaffirming that. And whether your creativity is by being out in nature and just, the hills are alive with the sound of music kind of thing, or if your creativity is about, painting, or if it's about dancing or singing or writing, take some time and, I don't know, I can't think of the word that's trying to come through in my head, but invest in yourself, invest in your creativity, invest your time in your creativity. And it's not something that you'll regret when you spend some time with that. But the Angel Therapy card is very interesting, and it's kind of going along with the other cards that I've pulled with this deck. I pulled Clear Yourself. And it says, ask the angels to release any toxic energies you may have absorbed. And you know what? What's coming up for this is your inner child. Every age of you has an inner child. So there's an inner child for 2-year-old you. There's an inner child for 5-year-old you. There's an inner child for 13-year-old you, and etc. There's even an inner child for 30-year-old you if you are that age. And all of those parts of you have collected your experience and anything that's been out and about and around you. And so maybe it's time to connect in with your inner child and clear some of those energies by being present with them and seeing what comes up with them and seeing what are those words that you're still holding on to from when you were 5. Like, maybe they were words like, oh, you're not a good painter because when you were 5, you didn't like to stay in the lines. And I'm telling you, and my Lilith is telling you, that the best painters don't have to stay in the lines. You can if you want, but there is pure potentiality outside those lines. So it's time to clear yourself of those thoughts so you can be true to you and so you can be true to your creativity. The next thing that I want to pull is actually going to be happening next week while we're online, which should make it very interesting. Mercury next Monday is going to be shifting signs in the evening. It's going to be shifting out of Pisces and into Aries. So Mercury in Pisces is very daydreamy. It connects us to spirit. And then Mercury in Aries, it's going to have our mind going like this. And it's always interesting when Mercury switches signs. Technology can definitely get wonky. So hopefully next week it'll be easy peasy, but you never know. But for that, from Osho, I pulled Sharing and the Source. And I love these two cards because this source card is the card of creativity. And it's the card of inspiration. It's basically the Ace of Fire or the Ace of Wands. So it is a card of inspiration. And imagination and things happening, action taking place based on thoughts. And I like this card in alignment with this and in alignment with the Mercury in Aries, because it's saying, hey, don't keep these thoughts to yourself. Share them and see if you can illuminate other people's worlds, nourish other people's worlds. There she has some good healthy fruit. She's got pomegranate and grapes, and she has that candle. So let those ideas come to light and come into fruition. And don't be afraid to share them with others. And then, still in line with all the healing energy, Archangel Raphael came up from the Angel Therapy deck and says the healing angel is with you, supporting your healing work. So who knows, maybe some of these ideas will be around healing, or maybe just allowing yourself to have ideas and to put them into action could be healing for you. If you're somebody who has ideas all the time but doesn't actually do anything with them, maybe your healing step is to actually step into them, those ideas, in a new way. And finally, for this wonderful eclipse corridor that we're in, being this through the 4th, April 4th, I pulled Adventure. And I love this card. This card, to me, what it says is look at everything as if it's an adventure, and it will be. You can have any situation be like, oh, I'm stuck in this again, or oh my gosh, this is so hard, or you can look at it as if it's an adventure. You get to choose. And so I'm inviting you to choose adventure with it and see if this ends up being the adventure of a lifetime, because this astro has been very intense. It's been really crazy. I can't wait to go to bed. Like, honestly, I've been so tired. I took a nap even today. So it's been intense, but it is an adventure, and it's an adventure of us all stepping into our highest potential. I read a quote today from Oprah that was saying, every morning I ask myself, what am I going to do? How am I going to stretch myself in a new way? And she's not just talking physically. She's talking about like how she can stretch herself into her life in a new way. So I invite you to do that by making your life an adventure. And meanwhile, from the Angel Therapy cards, again, dealing with healing stuff. You're highly sensitive to chemicals, additives, processed foods, and energies right now. Respect your sensitivities by avoiding harsh items, situations, and relationships. I love that. You know, take the time that you need for you right now. And if that means like just, you know, doing a cleanse and eating just salads, or if it means like, okay, kind of gonna hum it up and take some time alone, listening to that aloneness card that I pulled before. Take whatever time you need for you during this time, because it's a crazy period of change. It's a crazy period of shift. So take care of yourself, because nobody else is going to. You need to do that for you. So that is it for this week. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next week. Namaste.